Yeah, there's no doubt I heard that. I could hear that when it was a TV timeout, when we were walking back into the tunnel. It's flattering, but what we came to do and what we came to accomplish, it's not accomplished yet. So it'd be cool, but we have bigger goals and aspirations on what we want to do as a team.
Welcome to Tua Tuesday. Seriously, man, how can you not like this kid? What kind of person do you have to be to hate on Tua Tagovailoa? In addition to being a phenomenal quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, from all accounts, is a great teammate and a very good man. Today on the second episode of Tua Tuesday, we're going to look at the media and how they're flipping back as Tua is becoming a serious MVP candidate. One big aspect of being an MVP caliber player is elevating your team and how they respect you. And it's obvious that Tua's teammates love him.
What I tell y'all, number one is special. Number one, oh, there he is, a surprise guest. Oosh. Dolphins for the win, baby. Cheat in the building. I'm out. Let's go. Hey.
You look like a young me. Bouncing around after you make a play. I like to see that. Don't just run to the sideline, grab the tablet. Don't be boring. You in Miami.
I hope y'all put this on. Put this on the mic, though.
Tyreek Hill is a superstar, and I think we all can agree he could have played anywhere he chose to. When he came to Miami, he stuck his neck out and his own credibility out there by saying that Tua is that dude. And months ago, he called Tua Tagovailoa the most accurate passer he's ever seen. And when he said that, people ridiculed him. Stephen A. Smith from ESPN went as far as saying that Tyreek needed to be drug tested for even thinking that Tua was the most accurate quarterback he's ever seen since he played with Patrick Mahomes. And now, as we all see Tua Tagovailoa ball out week after week, Tyreek is calling in the receipts.
And the question was about Tua and the confidence you have in him. And what I heard you say was that you believed in him from the first day you saw him and working with him.
Yeah.
And you said, quote, people should start pulling up a chair to the table and apologizing to him.
That's it. That's it, bro. Like, that's all. It's easy, man. Like, that's all people gotta do, man. Just set their pride aside. You know what? Like, everybody isn't blessed to like come into like certain situations, man. Unfortunately, like Tua, like he came into a difficult situation. Obviously, 2 years down the road, he got J-Dub, which is Jalen Waddle, to help him out a little bit, man. But, some guys don't come into great situations, so I feel like, once he got a coach who truly believed in who he is as a person, who he is as a player, like this organization got around him, like look at the talent now he got around him. So, man, like a lot of people can begin to grab their chairs. Like we got enough room at the table, man. So media people, I'm saying this to y'all. Y'all can apologize now.
He's telling the media that they need to come kiss the proverbial ring. He's letting them know they screwed up on this one. The media needs to come clean and admit their mistakes. Be big boys and girls. Own up to your shit. But as we know, some of these people are just asses. And some of them are even more asses than the others.
You can't stop this. They have everything. McDaniel is as creative as it gets, and then with the weapons, and then Tua making smart decisions and making a play every now and then, man, they're fun to watch.
Tua Tagovailoa is playing lights out, is a serious MVP candidate, and the best that Miss Sims can say is he makes a play every now and then. Listen again to what this condescending cuck just said.
And then Tua making smart decisions and making a play every now and then, man, they're fun to watch.
I can only leave this up to Tyreek Hill to tell us what this nutless wuss really is.
That right there has given you the title to be our head ass of the week, man. So sit your ass down somewhere, man. Head ass.
I love the video breakdowns that Emmanuel Ancho does. Watch here as he eviscerates Tua haters.
Team meeting. This is my favorite Tua breakdown of the year because I'm about to completely dismiss one of the biggest lies told about Tua. Now, what does everybody say about Tua? Oh, his arm strength. He ain't got no arm strength. All right, let's see. Tua, what you got for me, big dog? I heard you ain't got no arm strength. But Tua, you have two defenders screaming down your face. You're throwing it off your back foot. Surely it's going to be incomplete. He got to be incomplete. He ain't got no arm strength. Unless he does. Back foot. Tyreek Hill. Strike. Take another look at it, though. This is a perfect, and I mean perfect ball. Perfect ball. It could not be thrown any better. Now let's take a look at this clip. We got 3rd and 6, money down. Tua, you on the far hash. Don't you try to do this, Tua. Don't you try to throw a field out from the far hash, Tua. Don't you try to throw a field out from the far hash. If that ball is not perfect, it is a pick 6. But it's Tua, so it's perfect. If the ball is not perfect, it's a pick 6. If the ball is not perfect, it's a pick 6. Now, here's the most impressive part. This is Greg Newsome. Greg Newsome is a first-round defensive back that is 6 feet tall and has a 40-inch vertical. Now, you have to be perfect or it will be picked. Tua, perfect. He's fully extended, 6 feet, 40-inch vertical, NFL player, fully extended, but it doesn't matter because Tua's delivering perfect freaking footballs out there. They try to tell me he ain't got no arm strength. The film says otherwise. Hey, I don't care about your arm strength also if you can throw perfect pinpoint passes. Ready, break.
The biggest misinformation that any sports journal ever said was that Tua didn't have an arm. He had a noodle arm. Y'all need to miss me with that shit. Speaking of head asses, this absolute takedown by Dan Orlovsky on Stephen A. Smith is delicious. Orlovsky dropped some serious data, some serious information on Stephen A., and he has no comeback whatsoever. Truly a hater.
As I mentioned, Tua has shown out. He averaged 323 passing yards per game on top of 3 touchdown passes in each, all while helping the Dolphins score 30-plus points for 3 straight games for the first time since 2009. I know I gave you a lot of numbers. Basically, Tua's playing well, and the team's looking really good. So Miami now undefeated in games this season when Tua starts and finishes the game. So tell me this, Dan. Should he be at the top of the MVP convo at this point?
Absolutely, right with Patrick Mahomes. Those guys are 1-1.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hunt down all the people who told me Tua sucked, like Denzel in Man on Fire. Like I'm gonna find you guys and make sure that you realize all you guys were wrong. The way that Tua is playing right now is off the charts. He's neck and neck with Patrick Mahomes as the MVP. He leads the NFL in basically every category. He's got the best QBR in the NFL. He's actually got a passer rating of over 135 for 3 straight games. You know how many people have done that in the history of the NFL? 1, Tua. The only guy to ever do that. You're a hater.
I mean, come on, man.
You're a hater.
Really? I'm not saying that.
You're a hater, dude.
Okay.
You're a hater.
Wasn't that just scrumptious how Orlovsky took down Stephen A.? And then Orlovsky mentioned Denzel Washington in Man on Fire as his analogy. I love it. I love me some Queasy Bear in that movie, but I would go even further. I would be looking to go all Kaiser Sose on Tua Tagovailoa haters. I just don't want to take them down. I want to take down their networks. I want to take down their writers. I want to take down the people who do their makeup. You know, complete Kaiser Sose. I just realized something. If you haven't seen either one of those movies, you have no real idea what the hell I'm talking about. But maybe you should go watch those movies because, yeah, we do need to go Kaiser Sose on Tua haters. Oh well, I digress. Time to get some woosah on. Woosah. Woosah.
Tua can get all of this done, and he seems to keep himself out of harm's way. Yes, I'm all in on Miami, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't begrudge the teams they've beaten. You play the schedule they give you, and so I don't care about that. I'm not certain I'm all in on the Dolphins. I'm all in on Tua.
Okay.
I now understand why tanking for Tua a few years ago was pretty smart. 7-0 in games that he starts and finishes. Since he came back from the concussion, 4-0, 10 touchdown passes, no interceptions, 308 yards passing per game, and he's only been sacked twice.
Perfect.
He's only been sacked twice.
Yeah. And by the way, when they put those graphics up on today's Miami team led by Tua, and they go back to first time since 1984, they're going against Dan Marino. Come on now.
Dan Marino.
All in.
Mike Wilbon is absolutely right. Nobody has seen this level of quarterback play in Miami since the days of Dan Marino. Let that sink in.
Tua Tagovailoa stays hot. He throws for 3 more TDs in Miami's rout of the Cleveland Browns. Completed 25 of 32 passes for 285 and 3 TDs, which is, I would say, Key, on the high end of what you will tolerate from a quarterback, right? It hasn't gone overboard, but a little more than that, and you're like, it's too much. This is like the Keyshawn Johnson stat line, but on steroids. Okay. This is his 3rd straight game, Tua, with 3 TD passes. Since returning in Week 7, Tua has 10 TD passes against 0 interceptions.
The quarterback is playing lights out, hands down. There's no question about it. You can't take away from what he's been able to do so far. 10 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. It's pretty doggone good, man.
Pretty good.
I mean, it's pretty good football.
Tua is on the heels of Patrick Mahomes for the MVP right now.
Yeah.
He's 2. He's
who
right
else
there.
Who else would be there? It'd be Mahomes 1, 2, and 2.
I love
Jalen Hurts
this
3.
whole season to start off with. He's not the quarterback. He's not, and all he's been doing is answering the bell, right?
That's good for him,
That's
though.
all he's been
Because
doing.
at the beginning of the year, he wasn't the quarterback.
But more than that, guys, more than that, I don't care what you call it, that's a concussion, right? And then he followed that when he's wobbled.
Yeah.
Then 4 days later, he's back in. It happens again. His arms are rigid. Let's not forget that. And it looked to me like his career could be in jeopardy. Season's over. The dude has come back from that. By the way, whether that's wise or foolish, he has come back from it and has become an MVP level player. That, to me, you get extra for that.
While I absolutely loathe Max Kellerman, what he says here about Tua Tagovailoa makes a lot of sense. Not only has Tua recovered from a really bad injury, but he's come back and excelled at his position. That should count for more cred. And a conversion of faith by Keyshawn Johnson is nothing short of astounding. But then Keyshawn embarrasses himself with what he says right here.
I don't think anybody in their right mind at the start of the season would have thought that he would be on this record pace, breaking record pace. Nobody, not his own coaches, thought that.
You're wrong, Keyshawn. Many of us knew that Tua was that dude. Mike McDaniel saw it early on. Tyreek, as soon as the plane landed and had some time to run some routes with Tua, he saw it early on. Many of the fans here in South Florida saw it early on. Y'all up in New York in your nice studios curled your nose up at what was going on down here in Miami. That's on you. And now here we are. The Dolphins are in first place in the AFC East, and you're going to have to deal with it. Tua Tagovailoa is balling out, is a serious MVP candidate. Tyreek and Jalen Waddle are in the midst of record-breaking years, and Mike McDaniel could be a Coach of the Year candidate as well. And all y'all can do up there is shake your heads in complete disbelief, probably angst as well, that Tua Tagovailoa is a serious MVP candidate in 2022. And all I can say about that is you might want to get used to it. And if you like this video, you may like one of my other Miami Dolphins videos. You can see one by clicking right here. Don't forget, every Tuesday is Tua Tuesday. Talk to you soon. Fins up.
Is anybody catching on to this Barry guy?